Hi everyone, this is Clement, and today I'm going to address a big problem here is that you're looking to buy this year, but you are also considering the fact that actually a lot of the GRS plots that are launching this year are mostly in the CCR region. So what I'm going to share is investing in the CCR region, that means the Central Core region, an opportunity this year in 2025. So what we have is Zion, you have 2 plots coming out this year. River Valley, you have 1 plot coming out this year, 2 others are likely next year. You have Robinson Opus, which is a 999-year project that's coming out launching this year as well. And you have 1 Marina Gardens that just launched recently, and lastly you have Orchard Boulevard that's also launching. So what I want to address here is understanding if investing in the Central Core region is actually an opportunity for you this year. So a couple of problem statements that people might be wondering is: 1, why has CCR not proven to give a lot of profits? And I'll break down the reasons why later. 2, why do people generally not want to live in the CCR region? And 3, can you pick a good one out of the lot this year? Okay, the ones I just mentioned. Okay, so first question, why CCR has not proven to give a lot of profits is because of, I would say, 3 or more different segments of people, but I would briefly run through today these 3 segments of people first. Why do I talk about these 3 segments of people? 1, the people who want to buy but can't buy because of ABSD. There is no one to drive the prices up in the CCR region today, so you see that Central Core region, the prices have stabilized a little bit. People who have properties but do not and will not want to let go of their properties today because they do not want to unlock their name, that will result in lesser transactions as compared to other regions because the switching cost is very high. If I exit today and I have 3 properties today, if I exit 1 property, I will need to pay additional 20% stamp duty to be able to own the next one. So the switching cost is very high. They would rather keep it as a rental income property. The third group of people, foreigners who are in need of money, they may be letting go emotionally and may let go at a loss. Okay, so these are groups of people that I will identify coming to the CCR region. Okay, but more importantly, why do people see CCR properties as not so much of profit making versus the other regions? Is because that CCR is more for investor profiles where rental yield is important. So you look at District 1, District 2 in CBD area, you realize that the price growth year on year is actually lesser and lesser, but you can see that places like District 12, the growth is quite significant. Breda, McPherson, 50%, but in the city area, you see that the price growth is not that high. Second question I want to address before I kind of look at it overall, right, is why do people not want to live in the city but they mostly want to live outskirts? So 1 is that the schools are mostly spread out in the RCR and OCR regions, the good ones in the east, west, south, but they're not so much in the central region. That means if you're looking at, for example, living in Bugis, there are not many schools available. There are international schools and all that fit into the rental demand, but not so much of our primary to secondary school. Second reason is most of us grew up outside the city because residential sites in the city were not many 20 years ago. So habitual to want to live in the outskirts. The government also has a lot of push on living close to family members. So we kind of situated slightly outskirts or away from city. We come to the city for work mostly. But the last and the most important reason today that I want to address is that the perception is that the city projects are very expensive. But today, if you look at the price gap here, these are prices for the blue line, CCR region, that means the Central Core region. The orange line, your RCR region, rest of Central Core, just outside the city. And your OCR region, the red line, just comparing across the board, right? There has always been a significant gap between the RCR region, OCR region versus the CCR region. So you see that there's this huge gap over here, all the way over the years. And this has been consistent through about 20 years of the entire lifetime. But you see that today, actually, the price gap is significantly narrowed if you look at RCR and CCR. So you see that pattern of people coming closer to the city a little bit, but at the same time, because there are not many projects to consider in the CCR region, and plus the fact that the perception is that it's very expensive, people do not want to enter. But do we see an opportunity here because the price gap is actually quite close to RCR region today? If you look at the graph over here, of course different areas have different demand, different areas have different prices at the same time, but looking at just across the board, actually CCR region, the prices have already narrowed down. So today, is the pricing attractive in the CCR region? So I've comparing a couple of projects over here. 1 Marina Gardens have already launched. You still can get a 3-bedroom at 2.8 million. Robinson Opus is a 999-year project coming up. Estimated their 3 bedrooms are around the 3 mil range. Collective at 1 Sophia, situated near Dhoby Ghaut and also near a couple of other MRT stations. The 3 bedrooms are starting from 2.878 million. And Oriel at Golden Mile, which is the previous Golden Mile project, 3 bedrooms you can get at 2.764 million. Okay, just understanding the graph above that I just shared, if you compare and look at the price gap that it's very close between CCR region and RCR region, you can see why over here. Emma of Katong has already transacted 3 bedroom at 2.853 million. Tembusu Grand transacted 2.9, almost 3 mil. The Ori transacted 3 mil for a 3 bedroom, and this is the compact 3 bedroom. And Trump Park transacted 2.764 million in the RCR region. So this is actually considered OCR. This is RCR, this is RCR, and this is RCR. So you see that actually the graph that I just shared that over here is very, very true, because you see that CCR prices are already at RCR prices today. And then the question is, if today the city becomes cheaper and cheaper, giving you an opportunity to enter RCR pricing, will there be more people wanting to come and live in the city? I would think these three segments of people who are already either invested, want to come in to be invested in the city, or they are foreigners that cannot buy at the moment. If you just look at these three segments of people again, one, you realize because of the price point, more locals will start to drive the demand over here. And two, because of the people who have high switching costs, they will continue to drive the strong rental yield for you to be able to exit. And thirdly, for foreigners who are letting go kind of emotionally at a loss because they are in need of the money or they want to cash out the money, in the near term it should not happen, because the buying has stopped mostly since 2023 when the 60% ABSD has kicked in. So looking at the prices here again today, coming in at this kind of pricing in the CCR region, actually I think there is quite a huge opportunity for people to enter, and we will see more local demand coming into the market. Okay, so the third question is, what do you want to look out for in 2025 in the city area? So these are three projects that I think that might have some potential, and primarily is because they are bigger projects. So 500 plus, 600 plus, 700 plus units. They're all launching this year. One is River Green. I actually realized that for River Green, Zion Road Plot A and Plot B, they are all near River Valley Primary School, Great World City, close to city centre. I think there are quite a lot of merits to consider and also benefits in living in the area. So I think it will draw quite a lot of demand. I mean, I've been also hearing on the ground that people are kind of waiting for the Zion Road plot as well. But more importantly, what we want to know is that one, like what I mentioned, the project size is good. Two, the entry price must be acceptable. If we compare versus RCR pricing, if we can get something in the RCR pricing range, I think it's a good bet to look at. And then three, facilities and amenities are there. So like for the three projects that I'm recommending versus the others that are launching in the city, I would think that these three will be something to look out for. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a project analysis on all of these more sizable projects, and before you actually commit to something, these videos will be launched also before the actual launch date, so feel free to look out for them. And here's my number and my Instagram page. You can pause this video also to scan a QR code and WhatsApp me directly if you want to. If you do have any other questions about purely investing in CCR area, what are the prices today that you can consider, what are the projects today if you want to enter today, and also what other upcoming projects are there, you can also WhatsApp me directly. I can share them with you and also share my thoughts along the way as we look forward to these launches coming up at the later part of the year. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.